Member for Cowichan Valley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've got a series of questions about moose now. So on the subject of revenue generated from hunting licenses, on February the 5th, the Minister launched a comprehensive 5-year study to investigate the serious declines in moose populations in BC's interior. The decline of moose appears to have occurred across all 3 interior regions, and all 3 regions have been subject to increased logging road or industrial road construction at the same time as there was ongoing accelerated forest harvesting for the pine beetle. Well, we applaud the government for undertaking this study. Many hunters and members of the public question the delay in launching it. My first questions to the minister are, and maybe I'll ask 3 at once because we've got a number of questions to ask, and I'm sure you would appreciate having kind of a lump of them to deal with. The first bunch are, number 1, how much total funding will the government be allocating for this 5-year study, and how much funding is earmarked within the 2014 estimates that are before us? Question number 2 is, why was the contract for the study let only for the caribou Chilcotin? And question number 3 is, and how much revenue did the ministry accrue through the sale of moose hunting licenses in 2013? And how much revenue does the ministry expect to generate in 2014? Would you like to, you can tell me if you'd prefer them not lumped together like that, but that's fine, okay.
Minister.
So thank you, Chair. So for the first in response to the first question in fiscal 2014, the study will cost 430,000, or the financial resources for the study for this current year are $430,000. Our ministry is contributing $350,000 to that. First Nations and industry $35,000, and the Habitat Conservation Trust Fund $45,000. It's anticipated over the 5 years, approximately 1.5 million will be required over the next 5 years. Sources of the funding for each of those years has not been confirmed, but we anticipate that it will continue in a partnership approach with funding being contributed by the ministry. In terms of the study area for the study, it's not limited to the Caribou-Chilcotin. It includes the Thompson, Bonaparte Plateau, the Caribou, Skeena, south of Prince George, and north of Fort St. James. So broader than the Caribou-Chilcotin as the member opposite referenced. In terms of the specific revenue, we don't have that. I don't have that figure available directly. We'll undertake to provide that, and that was around the estimates of revenue from the moose moose hunt licenses. We'll undertake to. I'm sure we'll be able to, but we just don't have it directly here. But we'll provide that.
Member.
The last few hunting seasons resulted in many complaints from hunters, especially First Nations. Excuse me. On the alarming and deplorable state of the moose populations across the province. In light of the serious nature of the population decline, was any thought given to a complete closure of the hunting in 2012-2013 moose hunting seasons to allow the population a best chance to recover? And excuse me. If the ministry did consider closure, what was the compelling reason not to close moose hunting? And if the ministry did not consider closure of moose hunting, would the minister explain why not? Will the minister implement closure of moose hunting in 2014 until he has the findings of the 5-year study?
Minister.
So, thank you, Chair. So, I think that the quick answer is yes. You know, in terms of were closures considered, full closures considered. What we have done in the areas, we have eliminated in the Caribou to Thompson region, eliminated the cow harvest. In the Ominika in 2011, the cow harvest was reduced by 40%. In 2012, reduced by a further or down to 90% of the original. So only 10% of the previous harvest levels. We've reduced LEHs on bull moose in many of the management units through the area, and currently, as you know, with the hunting reg synopsis that comes out in every second year, but we can also make decisions within off the schedule of every 2 years. But we are coming up to the next synopsis, and we're considering further reductions and closures as part of that current review of those regulations. We'll be making those decisions shortly. It's also important to point out that we do have healthy moose populations in a number of areas and maintain the hunts in those areas. But in this area where we've seen the declines, we've taken the specific action to reduce the hunts, eliminating cow harvests, and ensuring that we and as you pointed out, have launched the study and the review, because we do want to determine what the reasons were and the factors that resulted in that decline of this important resource.
Member.
Yes, we've heard from a number of residents about the probable causes of the decline in moose population across the 3 interior regions, and to many, they feel it's only too obvious. They refer to the vast landscapes of salvaged clear cutting resulting in high snow density, the loss of shelter, excessively fragmented landscapes, the spraying of pesticides to kill aspen fodder, excessive road densities resulting in ATV and UTV access by poachers, climate change resulting in tick and other insect infestations, abnormally large wolf packs where the ministry has not secretly culled them. I'm not sure about the secretly part, why, but anyway. And the ministry, you can use your imagination. The ministry's reluctance to impose closures for moose hunting seasons, to deactivate roads or to ban the use of ATVs and UTVs for hunting. Some may reasonably ask why an extensive 5-year study is needed to find out what they believe is obvious. They're asking, why does the ministry not take immediate action where causes of the decline are so obvious? In short, unsustainable forest management, some of it brought on as a result of the pine beetle in many regions. Other points that they make are the declines in moose population are a case study in the ministry's failure to manage at the landscape scale for cumulative impacts, something the Forest Practices Board has repeatedly pointed out and the ministry seems to continue to ignore. Since many resource professionals are of the opinion that a major cause of the moose decline may have been the gold rush mentality behind the type of salvage logging that took place after the mountain pine beetle epidemic, would the minister tell the House what kind of input did the government solicit from biologists to direct and guide the salvage logging before it was permitted, and precisely who was contacted for input?
Minister.
So thank you, Chair. So I think the reference to the wide range of points that the member opposite made in terms of impacts really points to the fact that there are lots of theories about what may have caused the decline, and that's why the study has been undertaken. That's why we've taken steps to decisions around reducing the harvest levels and the limited entry hunts and the closures that I've talked about specific through those regions. That's why we're undertaking and why we've initiated the study. And it's really one of the key factors in all of this. When you look across the regions, there isn't it's different in each region. There's not a consistent factor that you can point to across there. For example, and I know that in the in an area in the Burns Lake area, which is one of the original mountain pine beetle significantly impacted areas. Moose populations are stable in that region, so you can't point to the logging as being the specific reason for the decline. Harvest wildlife considerations are taken into account in forest stewardship plans. That's part of the planning process, part of the wildlife management areas, and those values taken into account in there. But I think the important thing is the fact that we have initiated the study. There is a need to determine the range of factors that may have impacted all of this. I'm advised, and biologists advise me that moose populations go through cycles, but this one certainly appears not to be necessarily a normal cyclical change in the population there. So I don't want to use that as any defense at this point in terms of what's happened with the populations there. I think there are a whole range of impacts, as the member opposite pointed out. The study is a very important process in order to determine that, so that we can learn from that, and that's why we've initiated that, and that's why we have the partnership in the approach with industry and with First Nations and with the support of the Habitat Conservation Trust Fund.
Member.
Thank you, and Mr. Speaker, through you to the Minister. The Minister has a template to be followed for the protection of ungulate winter range. In general, licensees are reluctant to participate voluntarily in the development and finalization of agreements on ungulate winter range within the chart areas within TSAs. Would the Minister please explain why he has not imposed a time frame by which licensees must agree to a workable plan? And would the Minister provide one good reason why he does not make the protection of ungulate winter range mandatory by law?
Minister.
So thank you, Chair. We have a target of 127 ungulate winter ranges. About 65% are complete. About 72 working on another 20. We work in active partnership with industry on this, and in our view, by working through this approach, through the consultation with industry on the approach, we believe we have more durable agreements in place, and because that brings in all the information, the research, and in my view, that imposed timelines would result in less progress and less durable agreements.
Member for Columbia Rivers Revelstoke.
Thank you. We'll just switch to wolves now, and just a couple of questions, about 3 or 4 questions on wolves. Would the minister please provide us with the amount of revenue generated from wolf hunting in 2013 and how much he estimates the revenue will be in 2014?
Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Again, as we referenced in an earlier question, we have the overall figures don't have that level of specific information broken out, but we will undertake to provide it. It includes revenue from hunt and from trapping, so we can undertake to provide that for the 2 years that the member opposite requested.